Hi, everyone. I want to share with you what the Missions Committee's been up to in the last year and the ministries that we are supporting on a monthly basis with a tithe of our tithes. 12% of what you folks give in tithes and offerings is given towards our ministries, so I really appreciate you doing that. By now you should have received the missions policy, and I encourage you to read that if you haven't already, because it really helps you understand the philosophy of missions at Blue Ridge. Over the past several months, we've been reviewing this policy and updating it and reviewing what we are supporting in light of having our wonderful new pastor, Ryan, and having our congregation now with a little bit of a different makeup than we had before. So we thought it was time to look at everything through fresh eyes and see what season the Lord might have us in now for outreach, for missions. So one thing that has remained consistent all these years is that we want to make sure that we are investing in ministries that our congregation is involved in personally. We don't want to just be sending money off to some place and not have any personal connection. So that has been very important for us to see what is the Lord doing in our midst, and then we want to get on board with that. We also want to make sure there's a balance between foreign missions and local missions, and that we're reaching some unreached people groups. So in light of that, I want to go over these missions with you. We want to pursue new partnerships. We want to bolster ones that we currently have that we're keeping. So let's take a quick minute to review what these missions are. For foreign, for many, many years, we have been supporting Battelle, which, as you know, is a residential drug and alcohol ministry throughout the world, but we are focusing our support on the Birmingham Center. And we have had several participants from Blue Ridge go there on missions trips, and in fact, we're planning a trip there this October. So if you'd like to go on a missions trip, it's a great first missions trip to go on. If you feel the Lord stirring in your heart, let Ryan or Dan Payne know. Related to that, we're also supporting Lynn and Marianne Yoder, who Blue Ridge sent as missionaries to Battelle. They've lived there full-time for 3 or 4 years. Marianne's a CPA, so she oversees the very, very complicated finances with Battelle, since they have so many different centers throughout Great Britain. And then Lynn, who is a contractor, and there's lots of buildings involved, lots of repairs, lots of construction and things like that he helps with. So we're very happy to be supporting them, and we remain in touch with them through the year. Another overseas mission, which you might think, is this overseas or local, is ISI, International Students. This is based in Charlottesville, but we actually see this as a way to reach unreached people groups, because most of these students are coming from countries that are not Christian. There are a lot of Chinese students who come to UVA to study, and ISI is a great ministry for Bible studies. A lot of these students are curious to know about Christianity. And with COVID, they're still here. And so ISI is able to adapt and do things online and minister to these students. We've had a lot of church involvement with that over the years, and that has waned a little bit. So we'd love to encourage you to see how you or your home group can be involved. There are so many ways to volunteer and reach out to these students. Another overseas ministry that we have recently started to adopt is ABRO. Again, that's people from overseas coming to us, but there was such a groundswell of support from Blue Ridgers with hosting these students that we thought, hey, we need to get on board with this. So we started giving them monthly support as well. These Belarusian children who come here in the summer and stay with our church host families, and we see that as a ministry of the gospel as well. I know everyone's really disappointed that they weren't able to come this summer because of COVID, but hopefully next summer everything will be all set and they can come back. A ministry that has been going on for decades throughout our network and at our church as well has been Haiti. We had several church people go to Haiti and be involved in Haiti, but in recent years that has waned at Blue Ridge, and actually I'm the only one who's been involved with Haiti. So we're considering if we want to continue that outreach there. There's going to be a leadership exploratory trip to Haiti. It was supposed to be in the spring, and it was going to be comprised of Ryan and then the pastors from Christ Community and Ravenna and a couple other people. But that trip was delayed because of violence and kidnapping in Haiti, and then now it's delayed because of COVID. So hopefully that trip will take place in 2020. So we are continuing the monthly support, and we'll reevaluate that after this trip is accomplished, which prayerfully will be this year. For local ministries, we have been supporting for a long time Thrive, Central Virginia, the Pregnancy Center. We have had a lot of participation from Blue Ridgers in Thrive, and so we feel like that is a ministry that this church is invested in. The Walk for Life was just canceled because of COVID, which is a huge loss to them financially. They make a lot of money at the Walk for Life that goes into their budget. So we did just decide to give them an additional gift of $2,000 in addition to our monthly support. Another local ministry that we've been supporting for many years since we started at Blue Ridge is Young Life. We used to have a lot of participation in our church. The students here were going to public schools, and so several of our teens were in Young Life. We had Young Life staff and volunteers at our church as well. But in recent years, that's changed. We don't have any, most of our teenagers are homeschooled. There is hardly any, extremely minimal involvement of students at Blue Ridge with Young Life, and no volunteers or staff at Blue Ridge anymore either. So we did just decide that we will be stopping our support for Young Life at the end of June. So we want to be looking for more local outreach, and we've been exploring some of those options, talking to some people, and we did create a local missions fund of $3,000, so that's available for us as we sense where the Lord might be leading us to explore. We want to bolster the ministries that we have, but as I said, we want to really encourage new initiatives. And I ask you to pray that the Lord would show you what He would have for you when it comes to missions. Because Jesus made it very clear, we just had Easter, He died, He rose from the dead, He came back to the disciples, and before He ascended, He gave the Great Commission of going out to Jerusalem and Samaria and the greater parts of the earth. That the purpose of the church is not just to disciple ourselves and not just for us to grow as a body ourselves, but to be reaching out to our community. So please be praying how you can be involved in that and how the Lord might be leading our church. And you can talk to any of us if you have any questions around the committee. I'm on the committee along with Ryan and Nick Skrilloff, Jesse Bannister, and Alan Housel. So thank you very much. Thank you for your generosity, and we look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.